home, my daddy sat me on his knee. So now listen here, my boy, this is how it's gonna be. Gonna put you right through school, boy, if I got plans for you. He said, please don't make me pie. The only thing I wanna do is join a guitar band. A guitar band. I'm gonna be a star with my guitar in a guitar band. Guitar band, yeah, guitar band. I'm gonna turn it on, get it strong in a guitar band. My pa, he looked at me and said, who do you think you are? You gotta get some education, boy, else you won't get far. Daddy, I said, hey, bye, the jazz is alright for you, but please let me live my life and do the things I wanna do. Join a guitar band, guitar band. I'm gonna be a star with my guitar in a guitar band. Guitar band, baby, guitar band. I'm gonna turn it on, get it strong in a guitar band, bang, 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 bang. Guitar band, I'm gonna be a star with my guitar in a guitar band. Yeah, guitar band, oh, guitar band. I'm gonna turn it on, get it strong in a guitar band. Hey, guitar band, oh, guitar band. I'm gonna be a star with my guitar in a guitar band. Oh, guitar band, yeah, guitar band. I'm gonna turn it on, get it strong in a guitar band, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hi, everyone. Great to see you all. Wow, I can't see any of you. That's a lie. Anyway, I can see you in the chat. I can see people in the graph over here. Just watched Rob's premiere of his Gold Coast video. Gee, my hair's having a good night tonight. Look at that. I don't have good hair days. I have bad hair days and really bad hair days. I love it. So we'll just pop the chat out just to, of course, appease my number one fan. Hi, everyone. Hi, Karen. Hi, Luke. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Neil. Hi, Gordon. Hi, Eric. Hi, Nathan. Hi, John. And I've missed someone. Who did I miss right at the beginning? Hi, Ian. Sorry, mate. There we go. Hey, Rob. Mate, that's all right. Hey, that worked out really well. Within a few seconds, it worked out really well, Rob. I like it. I like it a lot. That's a good video. I don't like the Gold Coast, but, it's good because I can watch your video. I can learn all about it. I don't have to go there. Although I have been asked just recently, actually. Sorry, got a cramp in my leg. Come on, stop it. Just recently to do a meetup down there one day. And Greg from Greg's Kitchen pointed out an all-you-can-eat pancake place down there. So, we might give it a go. We'll see. Anyway, that will be after our 1st of March meetup, of course, which we'll talk more about, as you can imagine. That's good, man. I hope those tools are doing well for you because it looks great. It really does. It really does. And, you could do more than a person could do one of your tours and then at some time later do another one of your tours because you could take them in different places. I think it's fantastic. Hey, Adam, good to see you, mate. So anyway, let's just see what's going on out there. Last week, of course, I have to, not apologise, but just explain we lost power till about just after midnight. So I have, since then, my wife and I have had discussions so many times when we're in a blackout. When are you going to buy a generator? Hey, Paul, when are you going to buy a generator? And of course, as soon as power comes back on, it's gone. So the other night, while we're sitting here in the dark, on my phone, on Amazon, on eBay actually, I bought a little 700-watt petrol generator. It's here, and the power's not going to fail now because we've got a generator. Of course it's not going to fail. But I got a little generator, just enough to hold the fridge. You think about it nowadays, how many fridges, what's the cost of throwing all the crap out of your fridge? It's hundreds of dollars. So, we will be hopefully not doing that in the future. It'll stop the generator shooting itself, of course. I've got a couple of UPSs that need rebatterying. I might just rebattery those and run them on things. But the other night, within about 20 minutes of the power failing, the internet started running like crap. So I suspect there's something up in the Telstra box somewhere that ain't plugged into the UPS that should be. Anyway, very first world problems. Good fun. So what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, we got some interesting feedback on the KT Boundary video. Hey, Marty. Good to see you, man. Yeah, Mum will be there. She's recovered. She's much better. She's still a little cough, but she's much better than she was. Yeah, I'm not a power person, but in the middle of a live stream, it's not so much fun. Anyway, it's good because this week I was able to watch your video because I didn't have much to prepare because I got half the shit from last week that we didn't use. So that's good. Recycle and reuse. It's good for the planet. So where are we going tonight? Let's just lose the chat briefly. Good to see you back, Money. Tokyo Live. Now, Michael did email with me with the name of that little train, which is heading across there right now, just leaving. And it's about that long. It starts with Y and it ends in Mame. There you go. And they don't have a specific... That train runs on tyres, by the way, rubber tyres. Very much like, if you've ever been to London, the Docklands Light Railway. Not too dissimilar. It's also robotic. There's no drivers in it. Oh, the camera does not like me moving my hand, does it? Anyway, we'll get there. Yeah, I've got butane cookers and I've got cans of butane, which I have just for, I used to stupidly think, I'd go up the bush and cook meals and stuff, but, and I have done that, but yeah, not as much as I'd think. We have gas here anyway, which almost never goes out. It's pretty good. And it takes quite a few cans of butane to, rubber-tired, driverless train. What, who would think, eh? I'd call it a bus, a guided bus. If anyone's been to South Australia and gone on the Oban down there, pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. Oh, Marty's South Coast Railway Line video. That's an epic. War and Peace. You probably need Steven Spielberg, Marty. But anyway, you got Rob. There you go. So anyway, Tokyo looking beautiful as usual. Temperature over there is 7 degrees, you bastards. The Skytree tonight's looking lovely with its nice, let's get Poiter out. Here he is. Looking nice green light tonight. Beautiful green light. The Japanese, I think I explained last week, have a fairly complicated Valentine's Day thing going on. I don't know if you pick the power of love. Yeah. Probably a more relevant thing than Valentine's Day in the real world is, of course, every year on Valentine's Day, it's the anniversary of us changing to decimal currency in 1966. And I did a short on the weekend on it because I didn't think anyone was really giving it a go, but then they did. There's heaps of other people did it. C'est la vie, man. I did a few videos. We'll get to those. Some of them were, hit and miss. You know the way it goes. Abbey Road live cam. Now, last week I made one of the dumbest statements I think I've ever made in my life. When I said, I'll look up the name of this road for you. Of course, it's Abbey Road. Blah. Who'd have thought? Who'd have funked, eh? Who'd have funked? And it looks slightly warmer there today than it did last week, but this idiot standing in the middle of the road taking a photo with a car behind him. Ah. Who'd live at St John's Wood, eh? Happens all the time. Anyway, there we go. Abbey Road, looking lovely. Paris. This looks gorgeous today. Look at that. It's a painting right there. Lovely. Earlier the sun was just in there up the top corner, causing this camera hasn't got a particularly broadband wide dynamic range ability. HDR if you're in filmmaking. There we go. Sydney live, looking lovely as usual. Beautiful reflections on the water. Opera House is looking great. Traffic on the bridge. Bit of road work going on over there, or a breakdown or something. It's happening here. Looking good. However, I did, Rob, snap a shot earlier because we're about an hour too late to catch it in its real. Look at that. Hey, how nice is that? Look at that sunset. Red sky at night, sailor's delight, high pressure. We'll see that later. It definitely is going to be high pressure. Hakodate live. This is cold. I looked at the temperature of this earlier before we started. It's about -12 there tonight. And it's been snowing, and it's been snowing over the north of Japan a lot. Not so much in Aomori, which we're about to go to. This Hakodate. I know it doesn't look like it's moving, but that is actually live. Aomori. How the snow melts, eh? The snow is starting to melt there a little. Still cold enough to keep it going. So this is out in front of the big railway station, shopping centre thing. Bridge over the back there. What a Takushi desu. I've got Marty's number, Rob. If you want, I can send it to you. No problem. Earthquakes. Perth. Southwestern seismic zone doing its thing. There's about 4 of them under that. Everywhere else is completely clean in Australia this week, which is unusual. Well, we've got this map up here, by the way. I'm working on a video set in this area here. It's about a huge new mineral sand mine down there. About a 10-kilometre strip, about 25, 30 metres deep. They're cutting mineral sands, titanium, rutile, zircon, the usual culprits, but it's interesting because it's got one of the biggest diggers in Australia digging. So it'd be fun. I'll probably do something about that next week. Sea temps. I know this looks boring, but tell you, it isn't. This is your weather, really. So the sea temps, well, still warm enough to hold cyclonic activity if we have to down here. And we've got some pressure, which may, I don't think this is going to develop. It's come too far south now. Oh, forgot to turn it off. There you go. Map for today, a lot of low pressure, monsoon trough activity up here. This I thought had a possibility of spinning. It's not going to. It is spinning, but it's not going to develop into a tropical low. It's too far south. It would have to go up here to develop. But if it did, it could track down here. There's nothing to stop it, except this guy. There's a massive front system running through here. So, I don't know. The weather lately's been nuts. The Bureau got the weekend so wrong. I haven't seen them get it that wrong in a long time. And they're copping a bit of shtick for it too. Yeah, they do get a little bit of snow in southern Western Australia. I've been cold in Perth, man. But then again, the only time I've ever been there, I was out on an airfield fixing an aeroplane that a tanker drove away and ripped the fuel coupling out of. That's another story. Oh, hi. Hey, Brits and Bricks, yeah, well, in Britain they made 100, they were making 100 million bricks a year. So they were going somewhere. Good carbs, bad carbs. I like both. It's like a nice set of side draft Webers there. Again, there would be words coming out of any mechanic that had to balance that array for sure. Oh, wow, Marty got snowed in. Marty's in the chat says he got snowed in for 3 days. Wow. Yeah, well, you know, if you can find a bar. Talk to you a little about this video. A couple of thousand views or something. I never expected it to go viral because the story's been told a lot, but not in this way and not about Australia. It's the first time I think I've seen anyone on YouTube cover the KT boundary in Australia. It won't be the last, I think. But of course, I use some elements out of a BBC documentary. The comet coming through the atmosphere and the fireball and the area, the little shot where the shockwave and the fire front goes through the dinosaurs and kills them. Now, they're out of different parts of the documentary. They did not appear in that sequence in the documentary. I didn't use any of the audio out of the documentary. That's all my own audio, my own effects, my own explosion effects, all mine. They're out of sequence. They're cropped because I didn't need everything that was in them. They've been cropped and then upscaled to look like they haven't been cropped, and they look pretty good. The BBC claimed the whole video. Now, there was 21 seconds of material in here out of their original video, which is 1 hour and 20 minutes long. So, to quote Steve, contest them all, and I did. About when just after this came out, they hit it the next day. I wrote a nice little, this is fair use because of it. One, the original material is educational. If the original material is educational, there's a much stronger claim on fair use than there is at purely entertainment. So if you go and knock something off out of someone's movie or cartoon and you start making money out of it, yeah, you're going to get busted and you're gone. But when you take educational material and you use it to educate in another way, that doesn't encroach on the original material. That's fair use. Also, it's a very small portion of the original material, an hour and a bit long. I used 21 seconds of it. Also, it does not in any way impede their ability to make money from their original work. They're pretty strong claims. And I won. Today, they released their claim. First time. So anyway, one for the good guys. Oh, look, it's just algorithmic, obviously. A human probably looked at it and went, oh, yeah, that's nothing like ours. For a start, it was all yes, and in their own video, by the way, they used 3 shots out of the American public domain atomic bomb shots of the palm trees getting fried and the trees getting blown over. They're out of the American atomic weapons testing videos, which are public domain in this BBC video, which is fine. But you can't then claim that as yours, which some people do. I got a copyright strike, which is nasty on my station, for my channel, for playing public domain 1940s documentaries from the BBC public domain library. And they busted me. And they struck me. So I said, end of that. That's too hard. So that's what's been happening with that. Anyway, some great feedback from it. Some people say, I want to go and have a look at it. Yeah, look, if you're going there, by all means, look for it. But don't go there just to find it. I'm telling you, it's going to be a smudge in a sand. It's not like you'd have to get in there with an excavator and cut a face back, a vertical face, a lot of it, and then go through and probably take samples and get iridium samples from a mass spectrometer. Not going to be easy. It may have been done, but I can't find a scientific paper on it, and I can't find any imagery of it or diagrams. But anyway, we know where it is. There we go. So that was that one. Lacey's Creek coming up. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute because it's the weekend. Even though it didn't rain the way they said it was going to rain, it sure as hell did rain. So Lacey's Creek is going to be a bit of a AI 3D fest. 1888. How am I going to get video of that? You know, as Rob and I had a little talk the other day about this. You're trying to do something from the 1800s, 1850s, 1860s. It's just going to become a PowerPoint presentation. Unless you go and walk around the places that it happened. You can't do that here. They're not available. They're on private property. So, c'est la vie. No one forced me to do it. I'm just going to run this briefly. I can't say it too often. I think we're going to have a ball on this day, Rob. I'm getting a lot of feedback on this, so should be fun. 1st of March, lunchtime. Newmarket Road. I said Windsor. It's actually Wilston, but, you know, there's only one Barger Brewing Company. You can't miss it. And, yeah, the brewing, they have a restaurant. They have menus. They have food. You can look at the menu online. And, yeah, I think it's be a cool day. All the YouTubers that are on here say they're coming. All of them. So, yeah. And there's more, I think, that are going to come. Can't stop them. Public event. That was the short I did for it. And this is when we lost power, right here last week. Anyway, just a little short. Who's coming? I spelt coming right on this one, unlike in the intro today. Yeah, I was in a hurry. There we go. So, something from the Lacey's Creek area, and this will be in the video. It's going to be the intro, actually, is that, and this is not just about Dayborough or Lacey's Creek. Every town in Australia of any moderate size has one of these, a war memorial. Used to be an old saying, if there was a woman that was, you know, built very solid, they were built like a country war memorial, because they all look like this to some degree. And the issue with these things is that, and they're very important, I do not ever want to try and glorify war. But we should never forget the people who fought it, ever, or the reasons it was fought. And World War I was fought for the wrong reason. There's no question of that. So anyway, here we are, Country War Memorial, names. What you're going to see when you watch this video, and we talk about the people that were involved in the Lacey's Creek Gold Rush. This is what happens when you try and sneak a shot of the War Memorial from Google Earth and pretend you went there. There's a bloody market on when the Google guy went past. Couldn't do it. Anyway, thank goodness for 3D, for AI. Eh? So every war memorial has these names on it in Australia, in every country town. But I know people, adults understand that these people passed away during the war. They died. Now, Stubbings is a name that will come up in this particular story. And so will some names off here. Strain. They're in here, for sure. Richard. Very strange name. When I worked out here in this area, I worked for Pioneers Radio and TV in the 1970s, 78. I can't remember, somewhere there, probably 78. And we used to go out here and service TVs. And a lot of these names were our customers because they live on the same road. The Anklemeyers live on Anklemeyer Road. Lacey's live on Lacey Creek Road. And it just goes on. So if you look at this one, we have the Lacey's here. So the main reason I do this is not to, say, oh, these people died during the war. But in the World War I in particular, there's two things to remember. One, there was no conscription in World War I for overseas service. None. These were all volunteers. And they were, in this particular case, all young men. Now, young men carry the surname of their families, and none of these got to pass that on. Now, some of these families almost disappeared after World War I because there were no males left to pass their names on. In some country towns in particular, you go to anyone, it doesn't matter. Goondiwindi, go up to Longreach, Atherton, Cairns, all these towns have these memorials. And you see these, you think, oh, these are a list of brave people who died during the war. Yes, it is. But it's also a list of surnames that didn't go anywhere. Now, if there were other males that didn't go to the war, yes, of course, they're too young or they didn't volunteer. Remember, these volunteers. It's a very interesting, and in this particular case, it really did knock a few of these lineages down. We'll have a look at that in the video. It's not all about gold, is it, Rob? Yeah, commemorate, we don't celebrate. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, on another topic, change the subject. Britain, Scotland, well, ish. Northern and Lancashire, I suppose. That's Scotland up there, actually. That little red dot there is an island. And we're going to find out why that island is famous, especially at the moment. I'm sorry, I was not having a good night when I did this map. This was last week. I got it for you eventually. This little tiny island, all by itself, in the Firth of something. Come on, get it right. There we are. Ailsa Craig is the name of the island. It's made out of a rock called granite. A really nice type of granite. Now, this is going to take a few minutes. I'll stop it in a few places. I can't hear it. So if I stop it in an appropriate place, I apologise. But I have to stop it because it's stealing someone else's work. But this is what this channel's about. Curling stones. How they're
Using
made.
rare granite from just one island in the world.
Now stop the audio. All the Olympic curling stones are made from granite from this. Oh, this is the dumbest sport in the world. I just cannot think of a stupider sport. Anyway, that's my opinion. I don't care. There's lots of sports I find dumb. But it is very clever. And the all of these curling stones come from this one island. And there's two different granites they use, an outer granite and an inner granite, and it all comes from the island. And they're epoxied together with all this amazing shit. I don't know what they're worth. A lot, I would think. And the SK's Curling have the contract for, I think, another 10 years to solely provide. They're the sole miners of the granite on the island, and they sole manufacturers of curling stones. So there you go. Now, this documentary is on YouTube. It's from Insider. Just look up curling stones. You will find it. I found it tremendously interesting. There's also another video of a little Scottish girl who is a van life sort of girl. Her name just escapes me at the moment. She's absolutely fantastic to watch. And there's wasted granite here. Look at how much they waste. They should have square curling stones. That way they don't waste so much bloody stone. So there you go. And it's a beautiful, there's two granites. There's this one, which is a bit coarse. And there's that really fine, it's more of a granite diorite, I suspect, in the middle. And it just gives them their shapes and stuff. I don't know about curling. What's the difference between a good curling stone and a bad curling stone? I have no idea. So if you get a chance, watch this documentary. It's pretty cool. It goes on for not very long, 8 minutes or so. But as you can see, they've got some machinery involved here. I don't know if you've ever watched guys quarrying marble in Italy, in Carrara. You can buy Carrara marble in Australia cheaper than you can buy Australian marble in Australia if you're a carver. One of my friends is a sculptor, and he uses Carrara marble because it's cheaper than Australian marble. It's nuts. I have no idea why. And the so this curling stones. There's some horrendous marble images on YouTube. I'm just seeing if I'm getting an in-stream copyright infringement. I'm not. Got away with it this time, Marty. We'll see. So there we go. All right, it's going to be a shorter night tonight because I'm actually really tired of it. A big day. My brain has been washed. And I've just watched Rob's amazing video. I want to watch it again now and take all the notes. That's not true, Rob. I'm not a Gold Coast guy. I'm really not. The hinterland's amazing. Northern New South Wales is amazing. Spent a little bit of time at Evans Head when I was in the Air Force, just a couple of days down there with the guys. And we were mainly dropping bombs on the place, so it wasn't particularly conducive to enjoying the countryside. Look at the run out on that, will you? Look at it. Amazing. Just amazing. I had someone trying to lecture me on freedom units. Wrong guy. Inches and whatever. Yeah. I just annoyed that there's so much wasted granite. They cut this little bit out. Where was the rest? They'd probably make some garden sculpture out of it. Just amazing stuff. And the skill. I mean, you make a mistake on this and she's in the bin. Someone, you're making stepping stones for your garden, I would think. Yeah, it's just an interesting process. Obviously, curling does take place every 4 years, Olympically. But as you can see, they've got quite a few of them here. Got to practice, I suppose. Yeah, I did notice that. Where's the masks? Where's the silica dust? And let me tell you, granite has a lot of silica in it. It's also got some nasty stuff in it. That coarse grain granite, it gets really coarse. It's called start again. If it's really coarse, it's called pegmatite. But granites contain rocks that have a lot of phosphorus in them. They also contain a thing called pitchblende. Pitchblende contains radium and uranium, and the phosphorus in high phosphorus rocks is quite radioactive. So, yeah, you don't be breathing that shit, apart from the fact that it's bloody silica. Yeah. They're doing it wet, at least. The trouble is, we had this here. The guys are going, oh, we cut this wet. How come we're getting crook? Well, what happens to the water when it dries out? Oh, just on the floor there. It's full of the micro. Yeah, it's just not that simple. My first job was working in fiberglass, which is silica. Glass, silicon dioxide, silica. And I think back, stop listening, Mum. I'm going to make a cup of tea. When I think back to the safety shit that we did not do, we were handling fiberglass. We were handling no carbon fiber in those days, but we were handling aromatic fibers like not Kevlar, but the early types of that. We were using epoxy resins. We were using methyl ethyl ketone peroxide, MEK. We were using MEK, methyl ethyl ketone, which is the catalyst for polyester resins. We were using a resin called, what was that called? Bisphenol, which is a resin that's chemically resistant. And it's been banned now because it's, carcinogenic. Who'd have thought, eh? And, of course, we were using a blue asbestos in bags. We wore a mask, a paper mask like you'd wear when you go to the doctor. Did I dodge a bullet? I don't know. I'm only 65. Talk to me in 10 years. We'll find out. But certainly a lot of the guys I work with did not. They got out. A lot of them couldn't handle it. I was only there for, I can't remember, Mum, 1975 through to about 1977, 2 years. But, there's just nothing like being inside a fiberglass water tank, grinding the inside of the tank flat so that you can join it properly on the inside, then filling the gap with a filler that contains blue asbestos, and then fiberglassing over that. Great fun. We built the first Nambour water treatment plant out of fiberglass. We also fiberglassed the sumps of the Butterham ginger factory up on Butterham because they were all leaking into the ground. And we fiberglassed the sumps of the ANZ building in Roma Street because they built the sumps and they filled them up with water and all the water went away because they were cracked. So we were down in the hole with the gun. Roll, 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 all that stuff. And who did they send down the hole? The 16-year-old, 15-year-olds, two of us actually, myself and another guy. Because the other guys weren't stupid. They didn't want to do it. But yeah, it's just the way it was. Is it right? No, not right. It shouldn't happen. We are killing too many people on work sites in Australia. I can't talk about Australia, but in Queensland, man, there's nearly one a month. We don't roll some truck up in central Queensland and kill them on a thing. We're dropping a crane on someone or a wall's falling on them. It just seems to go on and on and on. And unfortunately, the stats I saw, which was some time ago, it seems to be happening on mainly non-union sites. Now, one of the things, the job that unions do, which is the most important, is keep their bloody members alive and safe and with, all their bits. And, there's a lot of shit going on about that at the moment. But I'm not completely saying it's effective, but there are non-union sites. It happens. So there we go. There's your curling stones. Watch the documentary. It's interesting. I'll put the chat back up now, Mum. There we go. Hey, Lisa. Alicia, good to see you. Oh, no, I got that one wrong. No, did I? Maybe. I don't know. My brain, I'm just mush tonight, guys. I've been doing some security camera programming, and it's just turned me into mush. Because I'm doing it in my head like an idiot, not writing stuff down and planning it, as you do. Use your intellect to get around proper procedure. Never been done before. Hey, the Australians aren't doing too bad at the Olympics as far as, not that I give a crap about the Olympics, as far as gold medals go. So, yeah, why not? I don't care. I don't get it. I really don't. We should have the proper Olympics. I've said this before to you guys, where you just say, hey, cheat as much as you like. Just take as many drugs as you want. I just want to see how fast you can go. The Open Olympics. Like cycling was. Don't know. I'm being facetious. So there we go. Any questions, peeps, before we move on? We're not moving on to March. Haven't got much left. Is Norway winning? So they should. Australia has no right to win the winter. That's not true, Australia has more snow every year than the Alps do in Europe. It's a bigger area goes under snow here every year. Yeah, it's, people say, but it's shit snow. Really? Get caught in it. Try doing it across country when it's up to your neck or but it gets to about, your waist. It's just as bad. Hi, Brad. G'day, mate. The drug use survey, Brad. Well done. No. Tricky stuff. It is important. I had a friend who owned a factory up at Wacol, and one of his workers was a cannabis user. A great worker, no problem. Using a crane that lift 300 mil steel plates around places. Now, that should be quite safe because you are under no circumstances ever allowed to put a load like that over the top of a human being. And they didn't. They never had an incident. No one was killed or anything like that. But came in one day, the workplace safety people came in, must have had a complaint or someone doing this. Urine samples off these guys. Every one of them failed. The entire lot failed. My mate who owned the place went, Tone, I don't know what to do. I've got no workers left. Anyway, they just had to get clean. That's the way it is. Interesting week in politics. I'm not commenting on anything. It's just a circus. It's a circus full of clowns you don't have to pay to get into. Well, you do, because you and I pay every time we pay our PAYE. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of money for athletic stuff. I don't actually understand how it's funded. I thought it was their sand shoes or something. What did I see? Something in the press today that some chick got paid $1 million for flashing her underwear with the Nike symbol on it? Okay, really? I think they're making too much money out of sand shoes and jocks. Yeah, Ada, I would agree with you on that. I love snow. I love looking at it. I prefer looking at it through a double glazed window with a hot chocolate in my hand and watching someone else try and dig their car out of the snow. That's pretty cool. I don't mind that at all. But eventually you've got to touch the stuff. And yeah, I've spent some time in snow in the United States, up in Chicago, in Canada, Toronto, Niagara. My God, it snows at Niagara. And it freezes to that icy, horrible shit. Just reading, sorry. Yeah, the enhanced games, Nathan. I'd watch that. I'd subscribe to a channel to watch that. Yeah, the most snow I've been in is in Japan. Up at a place called, in this particular time, it was a place called Akita, which is on the west coast of Japan. West coast of Japan is horrendously snowy. And they get 5 meters of snow a year. And down south, there's a place called Kanazawa. Michael, if you're watching, by the way, hi, Michael Midori. I forgot to say good day. And hi, Mum. If I didn't say good day, I apologise. There's a place down there. You see photos of it where they cut this massive canyon and the buses drive through. And the thing's about 8-9 meters high. That's behind Kanazawa. Happens every year. Hey, Ibis. G'day, mate. G'day, Liam. Yeah, Brad, it snowed in Brisbane. If you look back through the records, there were snow flurries recorded at Fairfield in that park there in the 1960s. I've never seen it. I've seen sleet in Ipswich in the 1980s, probably late 80s, something like that. We lived in a house up there. It was a 1920s style, Marianne house, and it was 2-bedroom, sleep out, that sort of thing. And oh my God, it was cold. You could not keep that bloody thing warm. It just leaked, which was nice in summer. Oh, years a way to go, man. I watch those iceberg rolling videos a lot. I love them. Absolutely love them. You think they're in slow motion. They're not. They're just huge. Absolutely huge. You can see why early civilization would have been in awe of something like that when it showed up. Vikings, man, how brave were those idiots? My God, in those little boats, whizzing all over the countryside, all over the bloody North Atlantic. People don't want to go in the North Atlantic a day. Yeah, Nathan, I've been to Kosciuszko, but it was in summer, so it was just grass. It was nice. I've flown up. I used to be at a base at East Sale in Victoria, and we'd fly up to Amberley at Christmas time, usually hitch a ride home. And I've flown over those mountains in December when there's been plenty of snow lying around there still. Yeah, actually, Brad, I'd believe that. I had a mate who lived at Mulgilgie. If you guys don't know Mulgilgie, it's near Monto. And Mulgilgie's a plateau. It's a little high up. And they got sent home from school because it was so cold. And on the way home, he said it snowed. He just never saw it again. He was only he was my age, not with us anymore, unfortunately. He was exactly my age. And so that would have been the early 60s, something like that. And apparently that cold snap went right up into the tablelands up behind Cairns. They get a lot of frost at the tablelands. Don't think they've had too much snow. Snow requires some specific. We get enough cold here to get snow. We just don't get it and the right atmosphere. One of the things that blows a boy from Queensland away, when you see snow, you expect snow to be a solid form of rain. So there needs to be a cloud. So you see a nice cloud. And when you see snow clouds, you get those lovely little puffy edges to them. You go, oh, that looks like a snow cloud. And then it gets grey and it starts to snow. And you go, oh, that's good. Well, in Japan, you don't need that. In Japan, I have seen it snow out of a clear sky. And until I saw it with my own eyes, I couldn't believe it. And it happens when the air is super, super cold. It doesn't condense. It sublates. It goes from water vapor to water solid without going through the liquid phase. It's that cold. So you can be just sitting there, this wind will be pouring out of Siberia over a mountain range. On the other side of the mountain range, there's no cloud, but it's snowing. I've seen it with my own eyes. Yeah, mate. Anyone who's lived in Ipswich knows what hail looks like. It's just, oh my God, some of that ale up there used to be. I haven't seen it so much lately, but some of those big green growlers used to come out of the south west. Oh my God, you'd look at them and you go, that's not going to end well. And I used to crack the tile. I had a tiled roof in the house I was in. They actually cracked the damn tiles. Yeah, don't eat yellow snow or red snow or black snow. Just don't eat anything. Don't eat snow. It's a bad idea, actually. It's a bad idea. It's amazing. If you want to melt some snow to make a cup of tea, you put your little boiler on, stick the snow in, and you just have to keep putting it in because it just disappears. It's amazing how much you need to actually make a cup of tea. You need a lot more than fits in the damn can, for sure. We used to be given I'm going to say hexamide, but I don't think that's their name. It's hexa something tablets. And one hexamide tablet would boil 1 litre of water. So you can make a cup of tea, whatever, make your ration pack up, stick the hardtack biscuit in, dissolve it down to something like Weet-Bix, squeeze in the condensed milk and the butter, stir it all in. Great breakfast, that. You need about 3 ration packs to make one that's worth eating. But yeah, the hexamine, I can't remember the name of it. It looks like a wax candle, but it burns really well. And, mate, we used to have heaps of these things. They were great. 2 or 3 of them. Keep you warm. Good stuff. -30, Marty. The coldest I've been is in Sapporo, up on the mountain in the middle of town. And that was, I think that thing said -18 C, something like that. But I do get a bit confused because in Canada, it's sometimes it's C, sometimes it's Fahrenheit. It depends where you are. America, it's Fahrenheit. And it sounds really cold, and it is, but, -5 Fahrenheit is really cold. Really cold. Whereas, 20 Fahrenheit's about minus something. I don't know. There's a point there it crosses over. I can't remember where that is, actually. Cooktown, Nathan, my God. Black Mountain. Brad, now that's worth going to. If you go anywhere in North Queensland, anywhere, go to Black Mountain. It's a good spot. You can have a beer at the, what's it called, the Red Lion or something? Is it the pub on the intersection of the roads there? But Black Mountain is just insane. It's -40, is it, eh? There you go. It's the same in both. Doesn't matter. Potato, potato. As long as you're using the same thing, it doesn't matter. Just if you work in Celsius, you're in SI units, which means you can do all your calculations. You can do all of your BTUs, all of your thermal calculations, and it just works. You start wandering off into Fahrenheit land, you got units to worry about. Yeah, Lions Den. That's it, Lions Den. I was there 1985, 85, and it was just awe-inspiring. You see in the distance, and Black Mountain. You get closer. Oh, it must be basalt. No, it's not. You're closer and closer and closer. It's granite, and the granite's just got fungus on it, makes it black. But it is just amazing. Is it hexamine? Is it, Eric? Yeah, it's something like that, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I'm from Queensland. I mispronounce everything. I love it. It's my excuse. Well. So anyway, earlier on I watched that video of Rob's, and wow, and boy, northern Afghanistan, that looks cold. It looks cold. I know this is a very oversimplified way of looking at it, but have you noticed that a lot of these countries in the world that have a lot of conflict, we'll say conflict going on, and I don't care whether it's, Iraq, Afghanistan, Israel. In Australia, a goat would starve in that country. What the hell do they eat? I mean, Afghanistan, all I can say is the bits that are fertile must be really, really fertile. Because you see views from aircraft flying over that thing, it was satellite views. My God, a goat would starve on that country. And the Middle East is the same. You look at the area, I've always wanted to walk the Kedron Valley from the Lions Gate in Jerusalem right through to the Dead Sea. It's about a 2-day walk. There's some hostels you can stay in and whatever. I don't want to die doing it, so it'll probably never happen. But it's just such shit country. I mean, amazing country and beautiful and geologically interesting and historically amazing. but it's just dirt. You think, what the hell do these people eat? Dirt? Don't know. Svalbard. There's another place I always wanted to go. I really did. That Svalbard produces an iron ore that's really weird. It's like a little. It looks like rabbit shit. Oh, it's a dark iron ore. It's not. It's the different oxidization state of the iron. Bit like magnetite, I think. Amazing stuff. And coal, I think, as well. The Russians had a coal mine there somewhere. Iron and coal. Wonder what you could do with that. Anyway, I will probably never get there. It's one of the few places you do not need a passport to go to, or a visa. But you need one to come back, so you've got to take one with you anyway. It looks lovely, doesn't it, Liam? It just looks amazing. But it's one of those places where you have to learn to shoot. You've got to have a rifle with you, or someone with a rifle when you go anywhere. Yeah. You got to be able to shoot things. Polar bear comes running at you. No time to be a conservationist. Shoot first, think later, or you're going to die. But yeah, if I had to shoot a polar bear, I'd have trouble with that. I really would. A winter in Svalbard. Wow. Yeah, the seed vaults there. Polar bears. One of the things that the United States and now Japan is black bears. Grizzly bears are just so ridiculously dangerous, but there aren't that many of them. But there's a lot of black bears in the United States, and there's a lot of black bears in Japan. And they're now starting to get people attacked by them. So, yeah, I think that's going to be a problem because they're protected, of course. So they will breed to fill the environment that's available for them, as does everything, as do we. Yeah, Black Mountain is a trippy spot. There's all this supernatural shit. What you're hearing is frogs. And if you hit that with a tile, I didn't have a hammer, I had a tile lever with me. Not supposed to, it's a national park, but you can't help it. You tap those rocks with a tile there, they ring like a bell. They are absolutely crystallinely solid. They're not cracked. It's just amazing. Just amazing. I don't think the native people would go near it. They hated it. So, yeah. Okay, Marty, good to see you again, mate. I'll say good day. Mum will say good day too. She always misses you when you're not here. And she will probably, all things going well, will be at our 1st of March meetup. So that'll be great fun. We get to see T-Mum. She loves that. Someone called to T-Mum in this chat the other week. She absolutely loved it. Well done. Well done. So anyway, peeps, going out tonight, we're going to go out with Esther. Surprise! But she's done some beautiful work this week with the bass recorder and her flute. So I thought we'd play 3 of those because they're short. They're not very long, so let's play 3 of them. What's coming up? Lacey's Creek. Yeah, that'll come when I get there. Yeah, I think so, Brad. I'm a white guy and I can feel it. Yeah, it just feels above natural. I wouldn't say supernatural, but something above normal, that's for sure. That is for sure. Then when I was in New Zealand, I had another one of those feelings. I'll think about that. We'll talk about it next week. It was a very spooky time. I don't get spooked very easily. When you do, it's your faith in science gets tested by some events. No question of that. Anyway, peeps, I'm going to put Hester on. Esther, not Hester. God almighty. Sorry, Esther. I'm old. Don't forget, 1st of March. Just see me a couple more times before then. And next week I'll have some more feedback on some of my other videos. I did one on Jared Belay and Johnny Bravo, of course. I couldn't help myself. I just couldn't help myself. I also did one out of Cheryl's video on the Gold Coast where she talked about thongs and jandals. I went back through the history of thongs and jandals, where the names come from. There's a video there. It's not very long. Have fun with that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, Ian. Should be fun. We're all looking forward to it. So anyway, you know what I'm going to say? The world really is wonderful. And this you got to keep rocking because this T-Rocks is out. And here comes Esther. Have fun. Bye all.
Mm-hmm.